Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor channel, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our detailed breakdowns of some of the most dramatic events happening in modern warfare. Today's story is one of the fastest, most devastating, and highly coordinated strikes we have seen in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. In just 7 minutes, the Ukrainian Navy executed a daring operation that completely destroyed a Russian airbase deep behind enemy lines. What makes this incident so extraordinary is not only the speed of the operation but also the precision, the intelligence work behind it, and the message it sends to the global military community. Before diving into the technical breakdown of exterior elements, interior structure, performance, safety mechanisms, unique selling points, cost factors, and a final conclusion, let's first summarize the story for you so you have the full picture. The Ukrainian Navy, known mostly for its resilience at sea and limited resources compared to Russia's overwhelming naval power, carried out an assault that combined sea drones, aerial drones, electronic warfare, and intelligence coordination. Within 7 minutes of the strike beginning, the Russian airbase, housing fighter jets, air defense systems, and ammunition depots, was reduced to rubble. Satellite images later confirmed that at least 6 aircraft were destroyed, the runway was cratered, and secondary explosions rocked the site for hours after the initial strike. The fact that this was done so quickly and with such precision shocked analysts worldwide. Many had underestimated Ukraine's ability to carry out long-range, high-risk attacks on fortified targets, especially airbases that are normally heavily guarded. This event shifted the balance of how naval operations are perceived in a land-focused war. On the exterior level, the operation looked like a swarm moving in unison. Small, fast-moving unmanned surface vessels carried explosives and were launched under the cover of darkness. From the outside, what made this strike impressive was the stealth element. The drones traveled low on the water, avoiding radar detection, and used irregular trajectories to fool Russian surveillance. Visually, the exterior of the strike was minimal: no large ships, no traditional warplanes launching a bombing raid, just silent craft cutting through the waves. The Ukrainian Navy's focus on minimal visibility and maximum surprise meant that by the time the Russian defenders realized an attack was underway, it was already too late. The exterior impression is that of a ghost fleet, barely detectable, highly mobile, and lethal in design. Inside the operation, the interior coordination was the real backbone of success. A network of operators, intelligence officers, and drone pilots worked in synchronization. The interior framework was simple: a command center far from the front line, secure communication lines, and pre-programmed strike coordinates. What makes the interior fascinating is that it didn't rely on a traditional large military infrastructure. Instead, it was compact, efficient, and based on rapid response. This short interior setup allowed the entire strike window to remain small, just 7 minutes, leaving no time for the Russians to regroup or mount countermeasures. The performance of this Ukrainian Navy strike is where the military value becomes clear. In terms of timing, the strike was flawless. 7 minutes from initiation to completion is an extraordinary performance metric for a coordinated naval aerial attack. The precision targeting ensured that the most critical assets, fighter jets, radar systems, ammunition storage, were neutralized first. Secondary explosions, caused by igniting fuel and ammunition, amplified the destruction. The performance also demonstrated Ukraine's ability to sustain multi-layered operations. While naval drones hit the perimeters, aerial drones simultaneously struck key control towers. The synchronization magnified the overall effect, ensuring the airbase couldn't function even if parts of it had survived the first wave. From a performance perspective, this was not just about destruction but about efficiency. Minimal resources were used for maximum damage. Safety features in such a daring operation are not often highlighted, but they are crucial. For the Ukrainian Navy, safety did not mean protecting physical equipment, since the drones themselves were expendable. Instead, safety meant protecting the operators, the communication channels, and the integrity of the mission. By using unmanned systems, no Ukrainian personnel were exposed directly to the risks of Russian counterattacks. Additionally, encrypted communication ensured that even if Russian forces intercepted signals, they couldn't disrupt the strike. Safety also came in the form of redundancy. Multiple drones were launched so that even if a few were shot down, the rest would complete the mission. This layered safety net guaranteed mission success without risking human lives, which is a revolutionary concept in modern warfare compared to traditional manned bombing runs. The unique selling points of this operation stand out immediately. First, speed. the entire airbase was disabled in under 7 minutes, something rarely seen in modern conflicts. Second, stealth. The drones used were nearly invisible to radar and traveled silently, making them extremely hard to detect. Third, cost effectiveness. The price of Ukrainian drones is dramatically lower than the cost of Russian jets and air defense systems that were destroyed. Fourth, adaptability. This strike shows that Ukraine, despite being the smaller navy, can adapt and hit strategic targets far from the front lines. Finally, symbolism. The psychological impact of this attack goes beyond the material losses. It shows that Russia's rear is not safe, its bases can be destroyed, and its airpower can be crippled even by a smaller adversary with the right tools and strategy. When we consider the price of the operation, both in financial and strategic terms, the efficiency is staggering. The estimated cost of Ukrainian sea and aerial drones ranges from tens of thousands to a few $100,000 each. Compare this to the multi-million-dollar value of each destroyed Russian aircraft, along with the high cost of repairing or rebuilding the airbase infrastructure. The return on investment is unmatched. For every dollar Ukraine spent, Russia lost exponentially more. On top of the material damage, Russia also suffers from the loss of operational capability. An airbase is not just concrete and planes, it is a hub for sorties, logistics, and command operations. Destroying it forces Russia to spread its forces thinner, relocate bases, and invest more in defensive systems, all of which drain resources over time. In conclusion, this strike by the Ukrainian Navy is a milestone in modern warfare. It proves that speed, intelligence, and innovation can outmatch sheer numbers and size. The operation highlights the shift from traditional large-scale warfare to smaller, smarter, and unmanned precision strikes. For Ukraine, it boosts morale, demonstrates international credibility, and shows potential allies that their investments in Ukrainian defense are yielding concrete results. For Russia, it is a wake-up call that no base is untouchable and that the war is not confined to predictable frontlines. For the world, it is a case study in how the future of conflict will rely less on brute force and more on technology, stealth, and rapid execution. This 7-minute destruction of a major Russian airbase will be studied by military academies for years to come, not only as a tactical victory but as an example of how asymmetric warfare can redefine global power balances. This was the full breakdown of how the Ukrainian Navy managed to destroy a Russian airbase in just 7 minutes. If you found this analysis informative, don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe to the World Conflict Monitor channel so you never miss another detailed review of global events shaping our world today.